Too many freaking things open. Oh my god. Okay, I got to you. Reason. Here. Hey, look at that. Let's see. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Let's see here. I want to be able to see myself. What do I do here? Hello. Check. Maybe 1 2 1 2 1 3 1 2. Um. Well, this is off to a great start. Hey, well I can hear it there. Wish I could see it on my phone though. That way I can like see what's going on exactly. Hey, here we go. Okay. Sweet. Technical difficulty things and stuff. Let's see, can I hear stuff now? That's the big question.
Line.
Yes, I can. Wonderful. Okay. So let's dive into this. Cool. So yeah, I'm mixing this track down. It is a cover of "Reinventing Your Exit" by Underoath that I did with an acoustic guitar and my vocal. Had to turn the gain up on the mic really, really loud. Um, so yeah, this is all acoustic. Had some piano up here when I was trying to figure out like what I wanted to do exactly for like the chord layout and stuff like that. And this is something that I've like this was a track that I've wanted to do for a minute, and I guess I'm gonna go through it and figure out what to do with it. I've already got like a pretty decent mix on it that I'm pretty happy with. As you can see at some point, um, Reason crashed on me, hence the recovered audio. But yeah, I'll go through this track and explain like what I did with some things and see what comes of it. Yeah. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat and I will do my best to answer them. I do know one thing I want to do is fix this beginning. Like the beginning is really just like it just like starts right up. There's nothing really going on there. But let's yeah, I'll play through the track once. That way you can get a sense of what's going on.
12th and Hyde on a Sunday, feeling like we're bold, and we're nothing short of invincible. 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 It starts again. Can you feel it? It takes your breath away. Well, stop saying that we're invincible. It's round and round. You're uninviting, unrewarding, and I'm misinforming you. I'm misinforming you. We all we wanna be somebody, but just looking for the exit. And this is the way I would have done things. Up against the wall, up against the wall. You've got me up against your wall. And this is the way I would have done things. Up against the wall, up against the wall. You've got me up against your wall. And it's you and me on a Monday. The lies that we told. And this is where we both go numb now. You broke my heart again this time. You're fading now, you've crossed the line. And you've crossed the line. 'Cause we all we wanna be somebody. And right now, we're just looking for the exit. 'Cause this is the way I would have done things. Up against the wall, up against the wall. You've got me up against your wall. And this is the way I would have done things. And up against the wall, up against the wall. You've got me up against your wall. And I'm reaching out for a hand that's not there. But you're not here. But you're not here. Well, this is the way I would have done things.
Oh yeah, so that's the overall track. Like I said, I did a mix on this kind of already. I can already tell you some things that I definitely did wrong in this that I want to go back and retweak at some point. So acoustic guitar first and foremost. This guy. If you watched my video on making a beat out of your acoustic guitar using only a cheap acoustic guitar, it was the same guitar. Nylon string, I had to capo it at the 3rd fret, so it's G minor. I used a KSM 44 on it. That's the mic that's up there that I typically use for vocals. Or a KSM 44A. It's a large diaphragm condenser mic. It's wonderful. Works great. What I did was I had it on the desk right here, just pointed right at like where the neck meets the body, so about the 12th fret. Works fairly well. And I double tracked all the guitars, so you can here I have one pan left and one pan right. And I overcompressed the crap out of it going in. That was my bad. Yeah, I've got the Black Lion Blue Stripe. It's like an 1176 clone. It's a great sounding compressor. I just picked it up recently, and I like it a lot. But yeah, I've got what's my signal channel? I got the 44 going into a Focusrite ISA preamp, which is like it's a fairly clean preamp, and I like it. Works. Going from there, going into the Bluey, getting compressed. As you heard on that on the strumming acoustic guitar part, it's a little over compressed, but I just won't compress it in the box at all. And then from there goes into my Apollo, and then into Reason from that. The signal chain on this, sorry, you're all going into bus 1 because I didn't label my tracks whatsoever. So I've got an EQ at the beginning, FabFilter. I haven't used FabFilter on my channel a lot. I love FabFilter stuff. Their stuff is incredible. I sucked it up and I bought the whole suite. But I've got 2 things right here. I think this one is doing a this one is there for to tame that like low end woofiness out of the guitar, and then this right here is doing the external sidechain in. So the back here you can see I've got an optional audio in. If you use Pro Tools, this is just like using the key input. And I have this set to external. That way, the vocal that's coming in is ducking the frequency range around 2K, just to add a little bit more clarity when the vocal is actually going on. Another EQ, just taming some more things, then a reverb directly on the track, because yeah. I do love this reverb. If you've seen me, you use it a lot. It just works great. Vocal things. So the vocal things were kind of fun because I don't do a lot of vocals like this whatsoever. um, so you can see here's like all the vocals that I did during it, with the final comp take up here in yellow. And then what I wanted to do with this, rather than actually tuning it inside of Reason, which Reason's tuning, the Reason built-in tuning is great, but I wanted to use something different. I ended up going with Melodyne, and I typically, if I'm in Pro Tools, I will typically use the Melodyne plugin because it works really, really well in there. I know some people disagree with me. I'm looking at you, Bo, on that one, but for speed's sake and being able to continually tweak as the song goes on, I typically use it on the track. I think it must be VST3, so I opened up the standalone version instead. If you've never used Melodyne, it's super powerful. It's awesome. Um, you probably won't be able to hear this. You can see that the yellow blobs, I think they're yellow, I don't know, are the vocal. And then in the background, the gray blobs, that was the acoustic guitar. So I had to export out both the vocal as well as the pitch reference, as well as like the acoustic guitar. That way I could have a pitch reference for tuning. And since this is like actual acoustic music and with like real instruments and stuff like that, the tuning isn't like dead on, which is kind of nice. Like you get to have a bit more flexibility with it, where you don't have to have it be like super tight, and it really shouldn't be super tight. Otherwise, it's going to sound fake. Versus if you had something that was completely reprogrammed and you start throwing a slightly out of tune vocal on it, it's going to sound out of tune. Um, and then, how do I want to say that much more articulately? Um, if you have something that's all programmed and it's all perfectly tuned in time instrumentation wise, if you have a non-tuned vocal on top of that, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb. Adversely, if you have something with acoustic instruments like this track with this acoustic guitar, and you stick a super heavily tuned vocal on there, it's gonna sound out of place. So in Melodyne, I was able to have a bit more freedom, especially with there's one tool in particular, um, which is the pitch drift tool. Like it just like evens out the overall drift of the note, rather than inside of Reason, where it's like all you have is that, which the Melodyne equivalent is, I believe they call that pitch modulation, where if you go really hard on that, then you get that T pain effect. Anyways, these vocals. So I did. So all the vocals over here, these were the untuned ones. I did, I think, 3 takes through each section. I kind of just divided it up. And then I went through and I comped together a track. I know Reason does have a built-in comping feature. I didn't feel like using it for this. But then, once again, exported this out, exported out just the guitars, dumped those into Melodyne, tuned everything up, exported those out of there, put it back in. And now we've got a tuned vocal. For the signal chain on this, once again, 44 into the ISA, into the Black Line Bluey, into the Apollo, into Reason. For processing.
Exit, 'cause this is the way I.
Processing, I've got a starting off with an EQ, just killing stuff that I don't really like that much. Going into RX7 mouth declick. I'm scared to open this up because last time I tried to open it up, it crashed the session, and I don't really want to do that again. Into a de-esser because it was a super SE. I had the gain cranked so loud on my on the preamp because it's a soft, delicate song, so I had to be like, I had to crank it up to get that kind of an effect. That's also where the RX mouth declick came in, because I'm gonna see if I can open it up. Let's find out. Yeah, okay. This thing is super powerful. I love this plugin. I do a ton of voiceover editing. I certainly don't do voiceovers because I can't talk to save my life. But this thing is a lifesaver for that. Like, let me solve that out and play a little bit.
Of invincible.
So outputting clicks only is kind of the worst thing in the world, because it's literally just taking the out of your mouth while it's singing. It's like a de-esser, but the people at iZotope are freaking insane and can make some really amazing things. Actually, speaking of iZotope, they saved us on a thing where we had a huge clocking issue during a live recording, and they figured out a way Like they figured out a new algorithm to like save the recording. It was awesome. Like super props to the person at iZotope that did that. Thank you. So into the soft tube effect compressor, which I never use actually. But I was like, you know what, I want to use this today because why not? I have it compressing pretty hard, but I have the wet dry mix down, so it's like a mix of it. Going into FabFilter Pro MB, once again, just taming some of the low end and some of the low mids. Another de-esser because super essiness. Another EQ to tame some more things. This is a pretty intense signal chain now that I'm seeing it. Another one to tame more of the mouth clickiness. Then a reverb that is bypass, because originally I had the reverb on here, and then I instead threw my reverb on a send. So my reverb itself, I throw a de-esser before the reverb.
Oh, it starts again. Can you feel it? It takes your breath away.
Because I don't want all that gross essiness to ring out in the reverb. I do the same thing on the Echo. I think I typically do that. I don't think maybe I didn't do it on this one. But with the Echo, what I did,
I'll stop saying.
I have the Echo on a send. Ooh, I need to send that there too. On a send, it's going to the Echo. I've got it doing its thing, a little bit of ducking. Then I have it on a return track rather than going back to the return section within the actual mixer. And on that return track, I have a Serum Effects. Throwing Serum Effects on my Echoes is like pretty much my go-to, because I'll add a little bit of modulation to it, and then that separates it out just enough from the lead vocal, without it sounding static and sterile. At the same time, I'm doing some filtering with it, and then lastly, I have it. What I just did, because I forgot to do it initially when I was making this mix. I have it sending that now to the reverb as well. So it's putting the Echo in the same space without it, and giving it some unique characteristics to step away from the lead vocal. Do I prefer the delay compensation on? In something like this, yes. Because I've got so many things going on plugin-wise with that I'd want them to line up together. So like if you're not familiar with like what delay compensation does, when it wants to work right inside of Reason, it calculates the delay time within all the plugins and then purposefully delays some stuff so that everything still hits together at the same time, rather than it like flaming back and forth. I've had a few situations where I don't put it on. I think there's a few rack extensions that don't play well with delay compensation, and it causes some really funky weirdness. So sometimes I don't turn it on. I kind of go by session by session to see like what exactly is going to work for that particular session. So yeah, and right now all I'm doing is kind of going through and tuning up the vocal a little bit more. Like I said before, I had it tuned up in Melodyne, but I'm just kind of like doing some like finalized tweaks.
That we're invincible, it's round and round, you're uninviting, unrewarding, and I'm misinforming you, I'm misinforming you. We all we wanna be somebody, but right now we're just looking for the exit. And this is the way I would have done things up against. I would have done things up against the wall, up against the wall. You've got me up against your wall. Against your wall. This is the way I would have done things. Up against the wall, up against the wall. You've got me up against your wall, and it's you and me on a Monday. The lies that we told, and this is where we both go numb now. broke my heart again this time. You're fading now, you've crossed the line.
I wish I sang that better. I may end up going back and re-singing that. I don't know.
You're fading now, you've crossed the line. Now you've crossed the line. And you've crossed the line. You're fading now, you've crossed the line. And you've crossed the line. 'Cause we all wanna be somebody. And right now, we wanna be somebody. And right now, we're just looking for the exit. 'Cause this is the way I would have done things. Up against the wall, up against the wall. You've got me up against your wall. And this wall, you've got me up against your wall. And this is the way I would have done things. And up against the wall, up against the wall. You've got me up against your arms. And up against the wall, up against the wall. You've got me up against your wall. And I'm reaching out for a hand that's not there. But you're not here. But you're not here. Well, this is the way I would have done things.
Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Yeah, I think this is now passable. On my master chain, I'm smashing some stuff. It's kind of fun. I've got my typical master chain. Got the ozone pulling pretty hard, and then I grabbed a few things I typically don't grab. At least in Reason. I grab them if I'm using Pro Tools almost always. Vertigo VSM 3 on the mid-side master preset works phenomenally well. It just gives it some like extra like warmth and saturation stuff to it.
Looking for the exit. And this is the way I would have done things. Wall up against the wall. You got me up against your wall.
It just gives it a little bit more of that like thickness that I like. I've got a precision maximizer, just like 60 and 50, just to give it some extra squitch. Which I think this is kind of like a loudness, like a perceived loudness thing, kind of similar to like as if you had Oxford's, the Sonics Oxford Inflator. Pro MB taming the low mids again because the low mids in this track got out of control really fast, and then the maximizer started doing some soft clipping.
This is the way I would have done things. Up against the wall, up against the wall.
Yeah, I just had so much more clarity with that on. But yeah, that's what I'm doing today. I don't know if I'll actually eventually release this. If you're not familiar with the original song, it's like a 2000s emo screamo post-hardcore, like just before I think like just before Underoath went like full on like heavy, even though they did have some heavy stuff before too on this record. This is a freaking great record. I've been listening to it a lot again recently. What's the one song, like a boy brushed in red or whatever it is? That one's fun. Can you feel your heartbeat racing? But yeah, I wanted to do a weird rendition of this because I thought it'd be fun. I've been noodling on my acoustic guitar more and wanted to do something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna keep mixing this down. Maybe I'll post it. Maybe I won't. I don't really know. But thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna go and continue working on this.